What do you know, what do you say, gang? Since it's October, otherwise known as Spooktober, I figured I'd make some spooky, scary cookies that honestly aren't that scary. Anyway, here's the stuff you're gonna need. You're gonna need a bowl and something to whisk the ingredients in. You're gonna need a cookie tray later with some aluminum foil. You're gonna need 8 tablespoons of salted butter. You're gonna need half a cup of white sugar. You're gonna need 1/4 cup of packed light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You're gonna need an egg. You're gonna need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're gonna need half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You're gonna need chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate because that's scary. And you can use pumpkin pie spice. That's what I'm using. But if you don't want to use that, you can use the ingredients of the spice itself as the spices. There's cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice, or you can use whatever you want. It'll make it taste like fall and pumpkins, which makes it taste scary like a jack-o'-lantern. Ooh, that's stupid. All right, the first thing you're going to need to do is to preheat your oven, putting it on bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're also going to microwave your butter for about 40 seconds. That's roughly the amount of time it takes to completely melt it. Then you're going to put the butter in the bowl with your white sugar and your brown sugar. You are going to mix that together thoroughly until it is one homogeneous mixture. You don't want any clumps of brown sugar especially. That's a common problem if you don't whisk it enough. Remember to wash your hands, and you're going to have to wash your hands multiple times doing this recipe. Once you have added and mixed your sugar and your butter, you're going to add in your teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you're going to crack your egg, and you're going to mix that in. You're going to wash your hands before you mix it in. No salmonella here. That's not spooky. That's just scary. And then you're going to mix it for 10 to 15 seconds. Otherwise, your cookies might end up stiff. You just want the egg to be fully integrated into the mixture. You don't want to over stir. Once you have done that, next you're going to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as your half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. You have to be very careful with this. Too much flour can mess up the whole thing. Too much baking soda can mess up the whole thing. And I probably took too much time to stir that in because I had to do something off camera. And then at that point, you can add in your pumpkin pie spice or whatever spices you use. I did 4 shakes because there's 4 spices in there. You might want to do 1 shake of each if you use 4 separate spices. And then you can add your chocolate chips. It's usually 3/4 a cup of chocolate chips. I did not do that, however, like a fool, because I thought I was going to put on the chocolate chips after I'd put the cookies on the pan. I was going to attempt to make spooky shapes out of them, such as a bat and a jack-o'-lantern, like make a jack-o'-lantern face with the chocolate chips, but it didn't work out. I didn't have enough technical skill for it. 9 to 11 minutes are up. Take it out with mitts. Take out the cookies on the tray. They should look underdone when they come out, possibly, but give them like 30 minutes. Give them 30 minutes to cool and they will solidify into something nice and delicious. Alright, I'm eating these cookies right now. And they're alright. But the spookiest thing about them is they're mediocre. Ooh. Thank you for watching my video. Please like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video, and watch even more of my videos. Or else I will have to do the scariest thing of all and fill out a job application.